Hello there my friends, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm back with another review. I've got to tell you, this couple have intrigued me from the moment I saw them. Between you and me, I think this relationship is comprised entirely of alarm bells. Who am I talking about? It pretty much could be most of the couples from this season, but in fact, it's Ella and Johnny. So guys, what I want to do today is have a humorous look at the story so far. So I think it's fair to say that Ella's what we call an Asiaphile. She loves all things Asian, and that includes her men. And Ella's been seeing Johnny for 2 years, he's from China. But to suggest there are problems in this relationship is to say the very least. You see, I think this relationship is one big red flag. It cannot work outside of cosplay. So this video is going to be a rundown of the top 147 alarm bells. Guys, how will I choose? But before I do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, make Ebird a happy Ebird, and press that big red subscribe button. And also if you enjoy the content, don't forget to press the notification bell and smash that like button. Thanks guys! And so without further ado, I give you Ella and Johnny. So Ella's a 29-year-old ranch hand from Idaho Falls, otherwise known as Plan D. Yep, both B and C were busy. And for the past 18 months, Ella's been dating Johnny, who's a 34-year-old engineer from China. And so Ella has a self-described Asian obsession, and she loves anime and fantasy, and she wastes no time letting us know that she has a thing for Asian men. And in turn, Johnny tells us he loves Western women. And Johnny's a single father, and he has a really cute little son called Stoney, who I think's about 8 or 9. Who at the moment is living with his parents. And so the plan is the two want to meet in Idaho Falls and spend 3 months together on a tourist visa, and Johnny lets us know if things go well in that 3 months, he'd like to propose to Ella. So I think the very first alarm bell that I saw with this relationship is the fact that Ella seems to have fetishised the Asian culture, albeit not very well. The show sees her wearing typically Japanese attire and she loves anime, and we see her swishing a samurai sword, but she hasn't seemed to notice that her partner's actually Chinese and not Japanese. It's my contention that if you swap Johnny with just another random Chinese guy, she wouldn't notice. She seems to be more in love with the idea that Johnny's Asian than she does with the actual human being. And she actually said when she's looking for a date, the ideal man would be an anime character, but in real life, he's got to be Asian. She says she loves their eyes, their long luscious hair, and their skin tone. Where did she find Johnny? Oh dear, it gets worse. She found him on a dating site called Asian Men and White Women. Oh lord, peak fetishization. And alarm bell number 2 is actually quite closely linked. Ella absolutely loves fantasy, and she lives in what she calls her purple palace. And all over the house there's dragons and little Easter eggs and anime posters. She's constantly doing dress up and cosplay. And at one point she actually says, I stopped looking for men in Idaho and started looking for my fantasy. And therein lies the problem. I think she wants to escape her real life and her real problems and just live in this dream world. Unfortunately for her, Johnny's a real life person. In fact, with a real life son. And they'll be having a real life relationship if he ever gets this visa. I just have the feeling that she's just on one long escape mission, and that doesn't bode well for this relationship. And so in alarm bell number 3, I look at their reasons for getting together with one another. She tells us that she's a Western woman with an Asian culture obsession, and he's an Asian with a Western culture obsession. Oh really? Is he? I beg to differ. In a chat to producers, Johnny actually said, I've been married already and my wife found another man, and it's almost impossible for me to find a woman here because I'm a single parent. And then he went on to explain that because of China's strict policy for many years of having just one child, there are many more men in China than women because parents prized having a son over having a daughter. So it's very slim pickings for men trying to get a woman there anyway. And it would seem it's even more difficult if you're a single parent. So he said his best options are outside of China, and he'd love to go to America anyway because he thinks he'll have great opportunities there. That doesn't sound like a Western obsession to me. That sounds for all the world like a marriage of convenience, like a green card grab, like a Plan D. Prove me wrong. And so alarm bell number 4 is that I think Ella might have some sort of a sense of entitlement. Now stick with me here. I know you're all going to be thinking, well no, she's down on herself because she's overweight. And that's true. But what do you make of this? Ella's carefully explained to us that she can't go to China because of the pandemic and it's much too dangerous. So the only other option is for him to come over to America. What? Make that make sense. If it's too dangerous for you to travel there, surely it's every bit as dangerous for him to travel to America. Where's the difference? I think somewhere in the dark recesses of her mind, she knows good and well that Johnny wants a green card and that she has something Johnny wants. And in that way, I think she's just pulling rank. I'm not sure, but there's something quite off about it. And next up is alarm bell number 5. And this is multifaceted, and this is the problem that is Ella's weight. Ella's very much a plus size gal, and her weight has been a source of her ire since she can remember. And over the years, Ella has struggled with her weight. She does have to eat quite a bit to maintain it. But she tells us even at primary school, the other kids didn't want to play with her and made her feel like an outcast. She says she desperately wants to lose weight because it's that she believes has led to her getting her heart broken time and time again. But I do just want to interject here, it could also be the plastic wig. I can see that being quite a big issue. But I digress. In addition to this, Ella alleges that men in her past have tried to take advantage of Ella's low self-confidence for their own financial gains. In short, she hasn't been treated well. So it's her express aim to lose weight. Now this in and of itself I think is a good thing. She'd undoubtedly be healthier at a much smaller size. However, I believe that she should deal with her weight before she tries to get into a relationship. Ella herself said her last relationship with some Indian guy. What? Is Indian guy his given name or his surname? I wonder. But I digress. This Indian guy is her previous boyfriend. So the couple met online and he knew that she was bigger, but when they finally met in person, he said he didn't realise how big she was. And then he didn't want to do anything with her sexually. And Ella's extremely worried that the same thing's going to happen again with Johnny. So to me, the logical step is just to lose weight first. At one point, we see Ella joining a gym. And she said, I've been to the gym many times before, but usually I get so anxious because people are staring at me that I have to leave. I guess you do burn some calories going to and from the gym. So it's not a complete waste of time, but I suppose it is rather an expensive way to just walk down the street. But this weight issue for Ella seems to be a lifelong issue, and it seems to me that she would need counselling or psychotherapy in order to actually successfully lose weight and keep the weight off, rather than just a diet or a bit of working out. I've seen enough episodes of My £600 Life, about 3, to realise that the psychological aspect of weight is one of the most important. And it will come as a surprise to practically no one that the 6th alarm bell is also linked to Ella's weight. And this to me is one of the biggest problems facing this relationship. And that's the fact that Johnny wants her to lose weight too. Guys, what is the point of getting into a relationship where there are already massive problems to address immediately upon meeting? Who does that? It's extremely difficult to navigate the rigours of a relationship even when everything is seemingly perfect on the outside. When Mr. Ebird met me, he knew he'd stumbled on perfection, but upon getting to know me for a number of weeks, then months, then years, he's come to realise that I'm a little less perfect than he originally thought, and that can happen to the best of them. Ah, too late. But when you first meet somebody, if they already have things that you don't like about them, do you not just deduce they're not for you? I have every reason to believe that Johnny is going to be extremely shocked when he sees how big Ella actually is. And her assertion that Chinese are really healthy, they just eat vegetables, isn't going to help. You're not overweight because you don't eat vegetables. You're overweight because you obviously comfort eat, and there's a deeper problem behind that. And Ella tells her friends that when it comes to Johnny, she's got all of her eggs in one basket. Really, Ella? I've got a feeling she'll have eaten them all by the time he gets to America. So in short, the fact that he already wants her to be a different weight before he's even met her tells me he's going to be very, very unhappy if she doesn't manage to lose the weight. They're both making problems for themselves. Alarm bell number 7 is the fact that Johnny is a single dad. And that in and of itself isn't the biggest problem. I think the biggest issue is the fact that when Johnny and his ex-wife split up, his ex-wife created a new family and she no longer sees the child. But of course, Johnny going to America for an extended period, i.e. 3 months, is I think going to be very hard and very tricky on the child. But I think there is an upside to the situation with his child in that because he no longer has contact with his mum, it will be easy now for Johnny to move him to America, and start fresh again, and maybe they can start a new family. Ella seems very maternal. She's keen to start a family. Johnny is keen to have more kids as well. So whilst there are negatives, this could actually work out okay for the couple. Guys, alarm bell number 8 simply took my breath away. Johnny decided to sit there and say nothing whilst his friends disparaged Ella and her weight. Ladies, this is the sort of guy that when you see him, you preemptively pepper spray him. He's that bad. So Johnny and his friends all went out to a restaurant to talk about what they considered was the idiocy of him giving up his job and his life to go over to America to be with Ella. And his friend, who was on the very rotund side of things himself, said, "What's going to happen when you sleep with her? You will be pressed. You will be suffocated." He let out an imbecilic laugh and his mum boobs shook. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to stop with the fat jokes. You're fat. Where's the joke? But what surprised me was that Johnny said, "It will be fine. She's going to lose weight when I get there anyway." But what I couldn't believe was the fact he didn't even bother to chastise his friend. Johnny, I don't know much about Ella, but there's one thing I can pretty much guarantee. If somebody's going to fat shame her, whoever her husband is needs to have her back and needs to stand up for her and to defend her. I think you're going to find, Johnny, that having a backbone will be essential. So red flag number 9 is a question of what life's going to be like if Johnny does move to America. And so Ella has grown up and worked on a ranch for her whole life. And the ranch has been in their family for 4 generations. Ella lets us know that when they get married, she'd like the couple to take over the ranch and run it. However, there's one small problem. Johnny has never ridden a horse, and he doesn't even know what the ranch is like. At the moment, he works for an electric car manufacturer. So I would hazard a guess that it will be significantly different. And one night they're on the phone, and guys, it was quite a weird conversation. Because they were talking about the ranch, and Johnny said, "Well, I love animals, I've been to the zoo before." And Ella was trying to ram home the fact that ranch life will be quite a change for him. And he said, "Well, it's only going to be a very small part of our life, isn't it?" What? What you do for a living? That's most of your life, Johnny. And Ella said, "It's a massive part of our lives." And he was quite flippant. He said, "Well, I'll try my best." Oh, really? Hello, is that Bet365? Hi, I'd like to place a bet, please. What are the odds for Johnny making it in Idaho as a ranch hand? Oh, right, I see. There's no odds because there's no fucking chance. Fair enough. You are the experts. Thanks for your time. That's right, guys. Johnny will never make a ranch hand. I've seen cowboys before and I've seen Johnny before. It's fair to suggest that there are quite a few significant differences. I think Johnny's taken on even more than Ella could chew. He's going to be a nutritionist, a psychotherapist, and a ranch hand. Anything else? Oh, and I nearly forgot. Vegetable cooker-in-chief. Johnny believes he'll be living his American dream. Johnny, you're not even going to be living your achievable set of objectives. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you think this relationship can possibly work? I think this couple are going to have their work cut out. Alarm bells are ringing left and right. In fact, they're not just ringing, they're clanging. So guys, let me know what you think in comments down below. And before anyone says, no, I haven't mentioned the sex cosplay. I'm still too traumatised by it. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go and get on with my next video. Just before I go, please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button. Make Ebird a happy Ebird. You've been listening to Ebird Online and I bid you good day.